Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
I'm Professor Meg.
And today we are reviewing Rolling Realms Redux from Stonemaier Games. Now, Rolling Realms Redux is, well, the follow-up box to Rolling Realms, originally from Stonemaier Games. This is following, well, Rolling Realms, which I'll explain in a second, a whole lot of promos, a whole lot, I think there's an optional additional solo mode, is that true?
Yes, there's a lot of Rolling Realms. There's 3 different solo modes?
I think that's what I'm saying. I think there's one in the original game, there's one in this, and there's a third one which I've never played, so I don't know anything about that. But let's you know what? Let me just pull this a step back. Let me tell you what Rolling Realms is, and then
pull
we'll...
your chair in. Take a seat.
Grab a seat. Come
Hang
closer.
out with us.
Come
We're going to
closer.
talk about Rolling Realms today.
So I'm first going to explain generically Rolling Realms, and then I'll turn to Meg and have her explain all the things that are new about Rolling Realms Redux, because they are very much based on the same system. So they have the same core system at play, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. There's already a review on the channel. But in any case, of the original one, not this one. This is pure chaos, I'm sorry. Anyways, Rolling Realms is a roll and write game that has solo modes, it has competitive modes. I'm going to talk you through the basic competitive mode because the solo modes are all different. But the basic idea is every single round you're going to roll public dice, and just to be clear, you're going to have 3 realms in play that you're going to pick, and all the players have those realms. In Rolling Realms Redux, you have 12 realms. I believe the original Rolling Realms has 12 realms, and there's a ton of promo packs that give you other realms. And the promo packs are from the original games, and the promo packs all include other games. So right now we're playing Flamecraft, Planet Unknown, and Tidal Blades. This is currently the trifecta that's currently in play in round 1. Because in Rolling Realms, you're going to play through 3 rounds. In each round, you're going to have 3 different realms, meaning across the course of the game, you're going to play through 9 different realms. Right now, I'm just showing you all the various realms in play that are in the Rolling Realms Redux, and then the 3 we currently have selected. Now, each of those rounds, what you're going to do is each round is going to have 9 turns, which you're going to be marking in this box over here. You're going to roll the dice, you're going to mark those numbers, a 6 and a 3 in this box, and each player is using the same public dice, and they're all marking 6 and 3 in their own card in their own box. And then from there, you're going to assign the 6 and the 3 to different realms in play. And you have to assign them to different realms. So the 6 can be used in one realm, the 3 can be used in another realm, and each realm has a little puzzle that's going on in terms of how you score stars, which is the main point of the game. Scoring stars are going to be the main points. There are residual 0.1 points for resources, but you're trying to score stars, and then resources are going to give you abilities in the game that you're going to have abilities to, like, use both dice in the same realm, to modify dice in small ways. So you have various abilities in play that'll give you other things, but the basic idea is you're trying to get stars. To that end, each realm will have a different way that it gets stars, which you can track on the bottom over here. Each realm is going to have different ways that you get resources, which again will work towards giving you 0.1 points per resource that you don't use, but more importantly, you can cash in the resources to get various benefits. And I'm not going to go through how these realms work because I'd have to explain 12 little mini games, but the general idea is let's use Planet Unknown as a basic example. In Planet Unknown, depending on the value of the dice in play, you're going to go ahead and assign one of these polygonal shapes to slowly fill out the board, replicating the core mechanic of Planet Unknown. As you fill in various rows, you're going to get stars, and as you fill in various columns, you're going to get resources. That's the core puzzle that's going on here, but again, every game gives you a different puzzle that is often trying to mimic the core idea of whatever that game is. You're going to do that for 9 turns. Each turn you're going to fill in the results of the dice. At the end of all of it, you're going to count up your stars, you're going to count up 0.1 point for every remaining resource you did not use. That's your score for the round. Then you do that 3 times, you get to the end, you total your score, and by that point you've played through 9 different realms, 9 different games, and that is how you play Rolling Realms as a basic idea. Now, Rolling Realms Redux is going to come with 12 new realms, and that's the part where I'm going to go ahead and turn to Meg to explain all the various things that are going on with Redux as opposed to the original game.
So for those that are fans of the original, it came with the original 12 worlds, but this one, we have the rest of the box here, and this is the storage that it comes with. So this is like a new change, that there's this storage section now, and you have each of these divider cards that you can put all of the different sets in. And it also comes with this little traveling case if you want to play the solo mode and take just a set of cards with you. Small things that are also different is these are the dice that come in Redux, and these are the original dice, so they're a bit more like world colored, where these are the purple, and these are the resource cards. I kind of like this one a bit more. Ever since Smitten came out, I think that this art looks like Smitten behind it, so it makes me like it more. But yeah, there are those differences, plus each of the boxes, both Rolling Realms and Rolling Realms Redux, comes with a solo mode. So in regular Rolling Realms, there's a mini golf, and in that one, it gives you specific challenges and says use these particular worlds, use them in a specific way. Sometimes it changes a bit of the rules, and because it's mini golf, it has you trying to hit par, so you're trying to hit a certain number of points, not going over, whereas in this one, you're playing baseball. So in this one, you're playing baseball, and you have your rankings because you are playing week over week. That means you're basically playing 5 different sections of the game. You have the 5 different weeks that you play through, but there are 3 other teams playing against you. So you are simulating points for the 2 teams that you don't play against that week, and then you are playing against a certain team, and with that, there will be these cards that have you trying to hit a particular star number, and then you'll either score goals or they'll score goals against you, or perhaps you'll tie, but depending on that, you will pick whatever league you want to play in, leagues 1 through 5, that's your difficulty level. And yeah, you'll play against the team that you're playing against that week. The other teams will play against each other, and at the end of 5 weeks, you'll hopefully come out on top.
The only other thing I'll note is that the original Rolling Realms featured games from Stonemaier Games. All the games in that game were all various Stonemaier Games products. Over the course of the product line, there have been a ton of promos that added new Stonemaier games as they came out. So, for example, if you want Wormspan, that's a promo pack as opposed to an original game. And then they also started adding games from other designers, other companies and whatnot. And Rolling Realms Redux is going to be, I think, exclusively games that are not Stonemaier games. So in this case, we have Tidal Blades, Plan Unknown, Flamecraft, we have Dog Park, the Guild Merchant... No, well, we have the Guild Merchant Explorers, we have Legacy of You, we have Poker, a more public domain game, Atua, Meadow, Rock, Paper, Scissors, Wonderland's War, and Spaceship. And honestly, do you know what Spaceship is?
I don't.
I don't know. I don't know if Spaceship is like another public domain game or if it's an actual...
like Battleship?
Yeah, I probably should look that up.
I don't know Spaceship.
Everything else, I know, like Poker and Rock, Paper, Scissors are public domain games, and the rest of them are from various publishers.
And some of these are games I love, which is so fun.
Yeah. I also should note, this is actually a good time to note, I've actually been involved in the design of one of the realms, with Terraforming Mars. I came up with the game design concept for Terraforming Mars, and then they tweaked or developed it. Just worth noting that I have some degree of affiliation with Rolling Realms specifically. I probably should have known that at the beginning for potential biases, but I forgot because I forgot that I did that. But that's basically it, which means, after I guess we cover Terraforming Mars, do you have it?
I definitely do.
Do you not have Terraforming Mars? How dare you?
No, I definitely do.
It's there we go. There we go. I got Terraforming Mars. I came up with a game concept for this, as well as Blood Rage, and I think I did Vindication.
Actually, that does remind me of one other difference that I really enjoyed in Rolling Realms Redux. It has a compendium, and in the compendium it has all of the cards clarified with their powers all together in one booklet. As of right now.
At least for, yeah, I was going to say, for right now.
As of right now.
I just noticed, are they all along the edges? Every single card? Is that from this game specifically?
It must be all.
I feel like it's all of them.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it does feel
different.
different.
Yeah, it does look like all of them.
Wow.
Yeah, so there is a compendium as well, which is super useful.
Which means it's time for the review over here. The review is going to be focusing more on, well, I guess let's cover quickly what your general thoughts are on Rolling Realms before we cover Rolling Realms Redux. So, like, just recap, Rolling Realms, what's your thoughts on it?
I am a huge fan of Rolling Realms. It's something that I started flying a lot when I first got that game, and I played the mini golf a lot. I really, really like it. I like the balance of it. I like the feeling of these different worlds. Usually it's puzzles that will chain into each other, which is something I love in roll and writes. As Alex described, when you roll the dice, you put 1 die in each realm with the ones that you're using, but there are abilities where you can put a third thing into that third world, and that kind of chaining is just something I love in roll and writes, and it's just a genre that I really love in general. So yeah, it's a game that has always stood out to me.
Yeah, I've liked the game a lot. To me, it has been a guilty pleasure kind of game where I don't think it's the best game ever. I think it has a high degree of variety going on in the game, and I've played the solo mode. Like, I've played this game, I don't know how many times I've played multiplayer, but I've played through like 2 full rounds of the solo mode alone. That's like 36 logged plays of the original golf game, a mini golf, Rolling Realms mini golf. And for me, this has always been a guilty pleasure roll and write. It's not my favorite roll and write. It's a game that it's just fun. You go through it, you play a little thing. I will say more often than not, I usually don't play through the full 3 rounds. I find that the full 3-round game is a little longer than what I want. To me, this is a fast, punchy filler game, so I'll play 3 and then just, boom, call it a day. I don't feel the need to play through a full 3 rounds. In fact, I'd say that for me, that overstays its welcome. I don't know what your rating on this. My original rating for this is a 3.5 out of 5.
For me, this is a 4.5.
4.5? Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
The other thing I'd like to say is just that it's very accessible, that I think there are some roll and writes, like Three Sisters, that are absolutely amazing, but if you bring that to a new player or a family member, they might not be able to play it. This is something that you could throw at anybody, even non-gamers, and they are able to understand and play the game.
Yeah. Which brings us to Rolling Realms Redux. As far as your thoughts on Rolling Realms Redux compared to Rolling Realms, I guess?
So for me, there are 2 different camps, right? So there's what it actually adds for the storage, which I absolutely love. I love getting the new components and things like that, and I think it's a much nicer box to now store everything, so on that end, I do really, really like it. Also, I really appreciate a lot of the worlds that have been added. I think some of them have been super fun. So for me, I really enjoy it a lot of the content that it's added. That being said, I'm not the happiest with the solo mode. I understand what it's doing, and it truly does feel like you're playing against 3 teams. The way the other teams actually get ahead in points even when you're not playing against them. The A team is scary, and you're not even playing them, and you can't stop what they're doing. So to me, it does feel... and even playing the different league difficulties, it does feel very much like baseball, but to me, I preferred the challenge of the mini golf, where it would have you play specific realms and have a puzzle of how can I get points with these kind of quirky rules that are
they give you rule changes, which I love.
And I will say, of everything of this game, beyond the Realm of Redux, which is the 3rd solo mode version, I have not played that yet, so I don't have experience with that.
I think I mostly mirror your thoughts. For me, the solo mode of the original Rolling Realms, I played through a ton. This solo mode, I don't think I'm going to play through at all, honestly. Like, I've gone through it just enough to, like, try it and realize I don't think I like it. I think that it's more complicated than I think it needs to be, and I think the paperwork of it involved, even just the paperwork of tracking things, just feels a bit more like work, and it doesn't those rules changes. It does so in the way that I think part of the point of it is to make it more accommodating to the different realms you want to play, and I understand that, especially with the game that you're releasing promo packs, but to me I kind of like, oh, hey, let's use Meadow, Wonderland's War, and Spaceship, and then also, in this game, you have to apply both dice to the same realm each round. I love that kind of stuff in games, and so I much prefer the original solo mode. Outside of the solo mode differences, I think that I also prefer the more, what's the right word for it, the more cohesive nature of a whole grouping of Stonemaier games. It feels like a single entity, and this kind of just feels like a bunch of disparate packs. It just feels like, oh, we got Poker, and we got Tidal Blades, and we got Spaceship. It just feels a little chaotic. Now, don't get me wrong, I like many of these worlds. Just like the original Rolling Realms, when you're actually looking at the worlds, there are some that I really like. There's some that I'm a little bit more met on. I don't think there's any I dislike. It's just like, ooh, that's a fun one. I like that one. So it definitely has that. I just think as a cohesive, this doesn't feel as cohesive. It feels like a bunch of separate promo packs that happen to be ending up in this box. And then, like you said, the storage is great. The storage is easily worth it. That's an easy, well, actually, that's gonna be complicated because that kind of messes with me because I have, well, I guess let's go to final thoughts, I guess, on this, because I think unless you have anything else to cover.
No, I don't. I would say for my final thoughts, I do feel a lot of the worlds were really engaging. I think that those are very much worth it, especially if you enjoy playing this a lot competitively. And even if you do play this a lot as a solo game, I really enjoyed a lot of the worlds, and I really enjoy the storage. So if you're someone that does that, I still think it's very much worth it. Just maybe not so much diving into the baseball unless you like it.
Well, here's the part that's complicated. If you had to recommend one of these, meaning the original Rolling Realms, if someone's diving into this series for the first time, should they get the original Rolling Realms or Redux?
I would say the original, and I think that's kind of incomparable only because it's like unique content each time.
Yeah.
So then it does come down to the solo modes, whereas with some games you might, need a certain piece to play the rest.
Yeah. So for me, I think that's kind of where I was stuck on. My rating for the game is not going to change. It's still a 3.5 for me. I don't think this game makes it worse or better. It's more variety to the gameplay experience. I think my only hesitancy on recommending this one over the original, meaning I would recommend the original over this one, my only hesitancy is that storage aspect, because there's a nice storage box in this one, and so I think it depends. If you're not going to play the game solo, I kind of say go with whichever one the rules call to you more. If you are going to play this game solo, I definitely recommend the original first, but honestly, I think you're probably... Solos are hard. If not for the solo, I'd say they're close enough. The solo is, at least based on my own experience, I really prefer the original solo.
The thing I would say is that if you enjoy the game at all, if you dive into it from, either game, I think that if you start enjoying it, you would want both. I think you would start devouring the content if you really get into it, so. Yeah,
which means the last thing I'm going to ask, which I don't think Meg knows, is what's your favorite new world? From all these 12 new worlds, which one's your favorite?
I really like Tidal Blades.
Interesting.
It's very difficult. I never do well in it, and that's one that I think I like it because I try so hard to kill multiple monsters, and I do very poorly in it. So for this one, you assign a die depending on the ones that are near these different rewards. So for this one down at the bottom, he has 1 for a heart, 3 for a pumpkin, 4 for a coin, and 5 for a trophy. And every time you get the trophies, you cross out on this track. And for example, when you kill him, you also get 4 trophies. So if I crossed out all 4 of these, I would have a heart, a pumpkin, a coin, and 5 trophies, which would have 1, 2, 3, so that I would have 5 stars. You try to get to the end of this track to have all 6.
Yeah, for me, my favorite's actually interesting because I actually don't love the original base game, but my favorite new world is actually Meadow. Meadow is a fun little challenge here where you're placing the numbers into these rows or columns and then moving that many in. So like if I place a 2 here, I go 1, 2, and I cross off that, and that's let me cross off the bottom one because you're moving up these different tracks. So you're trying to play this little puzzle of what you cross off that gets more restrictive as you go, and then you can also use a 5 or a 6 to get any of these, which you're going to need to get that star over there. And so there's a little puzzle of the order you place things that I do find oddly compelling to sequentially work your way up a chart, getting the various benefits, and so for me, Meadow is my personal new favorite world.
I know you only want me to do one. I don't know this game, but the spaceship one is also very fun. I'll just say that. It's like a cascading one where you're adding, but I don't know that game, so.
This one actually reminded me,
like
there's one in the original. The original box has one, getting on tangents here, but the original game has one where as you add numbers to a box, you have to hit that perfect range between 4 and 10. Do you remember which one that is?
Yes. Is it Euphoria?
I wouldn't know, but 4...
No, Pendulum.
No,
it's Euphoria. Then it's Euphoria.
Yeah. So you're hitting numbers between 4 and 10, and you're trying to knock it too high, not too low.
And you have 2 boxes that you can cross out numbers. That's Euphoria.
That reminded me very much of Spaceship. The way they have these little arcs where you're trying to balance these numbers. I believe you're on for Euphoria, because I know some of them.
Check, you know.
Well, I know some of them, so I don't know Euphoria offhand, so it does make sense that it'd be Euphoria. But we're going to find it now. We're going to find it.
I was going to say,
I think it's red looking. Yep, Euphoria. I see. I knew it. Yep, there we go.
I really like this game.
Yeah, Euphoria. You're placing numbers over here. It's very similar to this one in the vibe it gives, so and I do enjoy this one a lot.
I like that one. Play those both together and like with Pendulum.
If you play them both together, those high numbers are going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's basically it. That is your review of Rolling Realms Redux. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
I didn't give my rating for Rolling Realms Redux. I'm not sure if you did either.
I said my rating stays the same. I said it doesn't change.
So for me, overall as a game, I would give Rolling Realms a 4.5. For this particular box itself, I would give a 4 because of the solo mode.
I should honestly. It's hard because
because it is a standalone game. You can get just this and have a full game ready to go. So I would give this a 4.
That is interesting. So when I said my rating doesn't change, I think part of what I was biased by is my opinion of the game doesn't go up or down because I still have the original solo mode, and this just adds new realms. Mm-hmm. But I do think if I no longer had access to the solo mode, I do think my rating would drop half a point. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Because the solo mode was most of my plays of Rolling Realms have been a good amount of my plays of Rolling Realms have been the solo mode. So it changed my mind. I changed my mind. She convinced me.
Until next time.
Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
I'm Professor Meg.
And have a good one.
Bye. Jamie, this message is just for you. With all these new worlds that are out, please make a mini golf 2. Mini golf 2? Make it a promo pack. I'd like that, please.
My rating for the game would go up half a point, apparently. Yeah.